Hello. Someone is there. Okay, so we have audience. So, good morning. How are you? Am I visible, audible? Okay. Hi. Now it is good. Good morning. So, yeah, we can begin this session. It is largely on Saturn in Capricorn transit and what we can expect during this transit. So good thing about Saturn, there are many negative things which we will talk about Saturn, but good thing about Saturn transit is that it is so lengthy. Okay, it is so lengthy that it is exhaustive. What I mean to say is that by the time we come to the end of one transit of Saturn, we don't want to deal with that energy anymore. Like Saturn is in Sagittarius right now from last about 3 years, from January 2017 to January 2020. So it is in Sagittarius sign from almost 3 years. Okay, now we have dealt with this energy so exhaustively that I'm sure that almost everyone is just waiting for Saturn to move into another sign. We don't want to deal with this energy anymore. So this is good thing about Saturn transit, because it makes us deal with those things so much that we had enough for that particular time period. We don't want to deal with that energy anymore for at least 30 years, when the next generation will come and will face Saturn in Sagittarius transit. So it leaves the biggest impact on our life, that is for sure. Now Saturn is going into Capricorn, which is its own sign, and I'm not following much of videos or articles of other astrologers, but I'm sure that it would have been a way of interpreting that Saturn is in own sign in Capricorn, so it will be a beneficial transit, because I have heard these things before. Somehow I disagree with it. First of all, the nature of the planet itself matters. Okay, the planet which is involved, its own nature matters rather than anything else. Okay, Saturn by nature is malefic. By nature it represents our changes and challenges. Best way to understand Saturn as the polar opposite of Venus. Venus represents our conveniences, Saturn represents our inconveniences. Okay, so that's wherever Saturn goes in transit, wherever Saturn's energy goes in transit or in birth chart also, that's where we find inconvenience in our life. Okay, now it doesn't matter whether it is exalted or debilitated, it is in own sign or enemy sign. It represents inconvenience on itself. Okay, Saturn itself is inconvenient anywhere it goes. Okay, it doesn't matter whether it is exalted or debilitated. Only thing which matters with Saturn's dignity is that if Saturn is like debilitated or it is an enemy sign, it becomes more troublesome. Okay, we can say it becomes worse. Okay, but we can never say that Saturn in Libra or Saturn in Capricorn or Saturn in Aquarius is very good. Okay, we can also understand Saturn from Saturn itself, means Saturn's life, Shani, in the mythology. If you look at the Saturn's life, this Saturn was like discarded by his mother. He was brought up by his stepmother. His father never loved him. His siblings never loved him. He had to leave the home and go away from everyone. So you can see from the life of Saturn itself, it is miserable life, right? Every child wants some love and affection from parents. Everyone wants some love and affection from siblings and all. But when Saturn didn't if we look at the Saturn's life, Saturn didn't get anything out of these things. Okay, his life was completely miserable. Okay, now you will give to other what you have. Okay, I can give Taj Mahal to someone only if I have Taj Mahal with me, right? So Saturn will give what he has. He has misery. He only got misery from other people, so he is providing it. Okay, so that's why I am of the view that whether it is in Capricorn or in Aquarius or in Libra or in any other friendly sign, Saturn is not a planet which is going to change its nature at any level. Okay, it will remain the same. It will remain the most malefic planet. This is why it is the most malefic planet, because it remains the same as is. Okay, in any house and any sign, it does the same thing. It is to give you trouble and misery related with that house. Okay, so that is why this philosophy should be like reviewed by people, that Saturn is good in this sign or bad in this sign. Saturn is always troublesome. It is always challenging. Okay, in any sign, in any house, it is challenging. First, we should realize and we should accept this thing, that in any house, in any sign, Saturn will give troubles. Okay, it will challenge us, and I will tell you why it gives the troubles. Then when it is going into Capricorn, okay, Capricorn is the sign of authority and recognition. Okay, now Saturn is going into Capricorn, which is its own sign. So Saturn will challenge us in matters of authority and recognition. Okay, Saturn will put us into the situation where either we will have some conflicts and disputes with authority people. Okay, whether will have some challenges by authority people in authority, government, or we will be like challenged to become our own authority, means getting into business or self effort kind of thing. Okay, so Saturn is going to challenge us with authority related matters, authority and recognition, and then it will make us work hard with perseverance. Another thing with Saturn is that hard work of one day doesn't matter, hard work of 1 week doesn't matter. Saturn represents repetitive efforts. Unless and until you are putting the same effort over the longest period of time, it is not going to give you any result. Okay. So this is what is the most important thing with Saturn, the perseverance factor. You have to persevere with your actions. Then only Saturn is going to help you in getting some benefits. Okay. So as Saturn goes into Capricorn, the sign of authority and recognition, it will challenge us to be our own authority. Okay. Otherwise, you will have issues with authority figures. Government at mundane level, at global level, we can say governments and authority figures like president, prime ministers and all, they all may face the heat of the Saturn in this time period, where they will be best example is what is about to happen in USA. President Donald Trump is getting impeached. Okay, So it is very much indicative of Saturn's next transit, which is about to happen. So authority figures will be under pressure. People will be forced to become their own authority, but every result is going to come through Saturnian nature. That means you have to put your best effort over the longest period of time, then only you will get the result. Okay, in that area, in the area of challenges, in area of hard work and perseverance, it doesn't matter if Saturn is in Capricorn or is in Libra or any other sign. It will give you troubles, it will challenge you, it will make you work hard, it will make you persevere through. Okay, and only those people will get the result who are going to put the best effort, okay, over the longest period of time. Only those people are going to get the result of Saturn in Capricorn, as only those people got the result when Saturn was in Sagittarius or before it was in Scorpio. You have to persevere through, you have to face the challenges of Saturn. Like best example I can give is that when Saturn was in Scorpio, the sign of changes, the biggest challenge we had at that time was to face our challenges. Okay, now only those people benefited who faced their challenges, who were receptive towards their challenges, who tried to escape from those challenges, and those people are not going to be benefited. Likewise, Saturn was in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the sign of belief, right? Religious and other belief system. And we can see whatever has happened in India specifically in last 2-3 years. Okay, in the matter of belief, the incidents of last 2-3 months, where all the planets were transiting through Sagittarius and majority of India was burning. Okay, so this is the result of Saturn. We have to face those things. We cannot escape. Okay, those who escape are going to suffer. Those who face are going to get benefit. Okay, and again the facing of Saturn is through the longest period of time. It is not that we faced one day or 1 week and Saturn will give us the result. Nothing. Saturn wants you to persevere through your actions. Okay, now why it is necessary? The biggest benefit of Saturn, okay, it is like it can be the most difficult planet to deal with, Saturn, but biggest benefit for Saturn is that it is the only planet which wants you to become legend. It is the only planet which wants you to become perfect in your field. Okay, because it pushes you to do something so repetitively over the longest period of time that you become perfect at it. Okay, suppose if I am looking at charts every day, at least 10 charts every day, then after 1 month it is like I have experience of looking at least 300 charts. After 1 year I have experience of looking at least 3,500 charts. So when I am repeating the same actions again and again, I am becoming better and better at that activity. And that is what Saturn role is in our life. It may be the harshest planet ever to deal with, but while dealing with it, it is making us realize our true potential by putting the best of effort. Okay, that is what Saturn is going to do in sign of Capricorn also. Whenever wherever it is falling, the sign of Capricorn, first of all it wants you to become your own authority. Okay, then authority may be related with the house where Saturn is falling. Okay, sorry, Capricorn is falling into your chart. Okay, so that is another thing. Then it doesn't matter whether you are in Saturn Dasha or not, because Saturn's transits are so long that one day or the other it will catch you. Okay, it is about 2-3 years time period. So one day it will catch you. No issues. You can't escape from the Saturn. So Dasha is not that important with Saturn. Okay, I am not saying it is not at all important. I am just saying it is not that important. So this is another thing. Then whenever Saturn is retrograde during transit, we will see the more intensity of the same result, same challenges, same hard work and perseverance, and reflection on our efforts. Okay, whether we are doing the right efforts or duties or responsibility, we will reflect back on these things. I've just given the link of the article. It actually covers all the points which are necessary for this transit, which I may not be able to cover here, but if you go through that article, it will give you a good enough idea of Saturn in Capricorn transit. Okay, so basic thing is that people will be challenged by their authorities, either in job setup or at home. Okay, at home also you have authority like father or any father figure. Okay, so people will be challenged by their authority figures. Then it is a challenge to become your own authority. Okay, it is Saturn is only challenging you so that you should become your own authority. If you are having a conflict, understand it like this: if you are having a conflict with your boss, okay, then it is an indication from Saturn that you should become your own boss. You should not work under any other boss. Okay, so this is important. Then in whichever house Capricorn is falling into your chart, authority can be related with that house related matters. Okay, we will get authority related with that house, which I will cover shortly. Then Saturn also represents changes. Okay, wherever it transits into a house, it brings some changes in any house of your chart. It brings some changes in your life. So whichever house it is transiting, be receptive towards changes related with that house. Okay, again the problem comes when we are not receptive. Change itself is not a problem. Okay, change itself is not a problem. Change doesn't bring stress. Only the resistance to change brings stress. Okay, if you are resisting against change, then you are not cooperating with the universe. Then you are creating problem for yourself. But if you are just receptive towards the change, then it is much better situation for you. Okay, so the only advice I can give you for any Saturn transit, any Saturn Mahadasha, Antardasha, whatever, it will bring changes. It will bring the biggest of changes of your life. Only thing is that if we are receptive towards those changes, then things should be fine. If we are just moving along with Saturn, if we are aligned with Saturn's energy, okay, and wherever it takes us and we are following it, then things can be much better. Okay. So then, although all Saturn transits are very difficult, either Sade Sati Dhaiya and other Ashtam Dhaiya or fourth Dhaiya, whatever, all the transits are difficult, but at the same time, only 3 transits are considered as somewhat beneficial in nature. Okay, I am adding somewhat. Okay, so it is not completely beneficial, but somewhat beneficial. Okay, these 3 transits are when Saturn is transiting 3rd from the moon, 6th from the moon, and 11th from the moon. Okay, they say that it is when Saturn moves 3rd from the moon position, like if someone has moon in Leo sign. Okay, so whenever Saturn is in Libra, whenever Saturn is in Capricorn, or whenever Saturn is in Gemini, in these 3 positions, Saturn will it is not that Saturn is all rosy in these 3 positions. Okay, but along with the hard work and perseverance, it will bring something new in your life. Okay, something or someone. Okay, it will bring something or someone new in your life, and if you cling on to that thing or that person, then then your other transits can be better one, or you can deal with those transits of Saturn in a better way. Okay, understand it like this. Like if I give my example, I have moon in Taurus sign. Okay, when Saturn was in Libra, okay, it was sixth from my moon position. At that time period, I started learning astrology. When Saturn was in Libra, somewhere in 2013, I started learning astrology, and I happened to cling with it. I happened to stay with it, with that interest, and persevered with that interest, with my hard work and all. It only made my other transits little smooth. Okay, because by the time Saturn went into other signs, I was more confident in taking up this interest as my own my career, and it helped me to sail through other transits. Okay, so this is the most important thing about Saturn transits, is that all the Saturn transits are difficult, but when it is transiting third from the moon, sixth from the moon, or 11th from the moon, these three transits are it is not that they are all rosy, but it is just that these three transits will bring something or someone new in your life, and if you just stick with that thing or that person, uh, then your other transits of Saturn can be beneficial. You can sail through those transits. So whoever has these transits, third from the moon, sixth from the moon, 11th from the moon, can utilize this transit as a very beneficial one. Okay. Now if we look at ascendant wise, okay, for Aries ascendant, Saturn will be transiting through 10th house, Capricorn. Issues with authority figures will be there. There can be a change in career. A person should be very careful about his parents' health, because from the 10th house it also aspects the 4th house, both the houses of parents, mother and father. Saturn's aspect is also coming on to the 7th house. It may make them look towards business, but it will also bring some dissatisfaction in relationship. Okay, but the main thing will remain in the 10th house where Saturn is transiting, that they will have some issues with authority figures, and they will have some major change in their career. They can either get into a new job, or they can overall change their career from job to business or business to job. So there can be a major change in matters of career, in matters of parents' health, in matters of their relationship with government and authority figures. Okay, this is very short, I am telling you. Again I say that if you go through that article, you will get most of the information. Okay, then if someone is like Taurus ascendant, then Saturn will be transiting 9th house in Capricorn. Again, 9th house is 12th from the 10th, so it represents the loss of authority. This they will also have some issues with authority figures. Okay, some issues with government and authority bosses, father. Okay, these things will be there, but again the main thing is in the 9th house, where their whole approach towards their belief system can go through a change. Okay, they can question their teachers, they can question their gurus, and all the religious philosophies and all. Again, it is good to question, but you should be equally inclined to know the answers. Okay, so Saturn will bring some issues related with the 9th house related matters, like religion, philosophy, literature, belief system, and they can even go through a complete change in their belief system. They may be following Sadhguru, and they may start following someone else. So this thing can happen with Saturn's transit in the 9th house. Yeah, it can change someone's belief system tremendously during this time. Then if someone is Gemini ascendant, Gemini people can go through a major change in this coming 1 or 2 years time period, because what is happening that Saturn, not only Saturn is transiting through their 8th house, okay, but Jupiter will also join it. Jupiter, Saturn both will be in 8th house during 2020 and 21. So they can expect a major change in their life, overall life, and what kind of change it will be, what nature, in what area of life, it depends on their dashas. What dasha they are going through, that will indicate that these things can go through a major change during this transit. Okay, but they should be ready and receptive towards these changes. Again, problem will only come when they are resisting the change. For Cancer ascendant, it is 7th house related transit. Now these people would have to deal with their relationship in a very practical way. Okay, one of the practical ways can be to maintain a long distance relationship, but otherwise also if they are staying together, then they may have to accommodate really a lot during this transit, when Saturn is transiting through Capricorn. This transit can also make them become authority on their own based on their business. Okay, it can make them do their business and they can become authority, but again the result or benefit will only come through delay, hard work and perseverance, nothing else. Then for this Leo ascendant people, Saturn will be transiting into 6th house. These people should be careful about their health issues plus litigation. Okay, they can get into some very long term litigation during this time period. So avoid litigation as much as possible. Avoid conflicts, because Saturn is also their 7th lord. For every Leo ascendant person and Capricorn, Cancer ascendant person, the relationship is anyways difficult. A relationship is anyways difficult for everyone, but for these people it is more difficult. So they should be more careful about dealing with their relationship matters, their spouse, partner, and try to avoid conflicts and litigation as much as possible. Okay. uh, it will also create stress around their work environment, because 6th house is also your daily work life. In illness matters, they should be careful about their illness related to bones, teeth, any chronic nature of disease. If they take a loan during this time, it can result into a very long term loan. Okay, so again they should be careful about it. If someone is Virgo ascendant person, then Saturn is transiting through 5th house. There can be stress and changes, challenges related with their education, love, romance matters. They can have some education loans or loans over their children also. There can be stress around children also, like someone is planning for a child but it is not manifesting, so they can be stressful around that thing also. So again stress will be around 5th house related matters. It also means they can become authority through their creative pursuits. 5th house is your creativity. Capricorn is the sign of authority. They should become authority on their own through their creative pursuits, in their creative interest. Okay. Then if someone is Libra ascendant, then Saturn is transiting through 4th house. It will create stress in their home environment. It will create some stress regarding their mother, some differences of opinion. They may be like leaving their home or homeland, or their mother is staying away from their mother. If they stay together, then it will be stress So it is like that with Saturn transit in fourth house. At the same time, when Jupiter joins Saturn in fourth house, it can bring real estate opportunities. It can bring some vehicles and all. But overall, it is a difficult and stressful transit for home life. Okay. Then Saturn, if someone is Scorpio ascendant like me, then Saturn is transiting through third house. The third house is like efforts and self efforts and business, traveling. So it shows that stress, hard work, and perseverance can be related to their business. Okay, if the same person is in job setup, he will be forced to become a business person. Saturn will create such circumstances that will make him think that he should start his own business. Okay, then like. Here also the authority is coming through self efforts and business, third house related matters. Again, authority will come through delay, hard work, and perseverance, nothing before that. Okay, if someone is Sagittarius ascendant, then Saturn is transiting their second house. It can bring some major changes in their family. It can bring some changes in their wealth factor also. They need to be very careful about their wealth factor. Okay, the whenever Saturn is transiting through second house or 11th house, don't do anything stupid in wealth related matters. Otherwise you may find yourself in a very troublesome spot. I can tell from my own experience, as Saturn was transiting my second house from last 3 years. There is almost no saving in 3 years, but good thing is that I invested in some I redirected that money in some other meaningful things, like I paid off my home loan. So although there was no saving, but I utilized that money in a better way. Okay, I didn't spend it out. So they need to be very careful whenever Saturn is transiting through second house or 11th house in their money matters. Otherwise, it can create a lot of trouble. So then Saturn, as I said, it can bring some major changes in family setup also. Jupiter expands family. Saturn can limit your family. Okay, so you can understand what I am trying to say. Then, if someone is Capricorn ascendant, then Saturn is transiting to first house. Saturn transiting through first house is always bringing an overall change in your overall life. Your whole life can go through a major change, because first house or ascendant represents self, yourself. Your overall life is ascendant, and Saturn, which represents change, is transiting through first house. It can be like overall change in your overall life. That can be the factor. It can bring some new thing in life. You can make some new beginnings in life when Saturn or any major planet is transiting through first house. Major means Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, or Ketu. These planets transiting through first house can bring something new in their life. Okay, but it will be like a transit of lots of hard work and perseverance. Like I started in this profession of astrology when Saturn was transiting through my ascendant Scorpio. Okay, so that is what I am trying to say, is that it is going to bring a major change in overall life. Again the key word is receptive towards that change, not to resist that change. Then if someone is Aquarius ascendant, then you are going to close certain things in your life, because Saturn will be transiting in your 12th house Capricorn of foreign lands, but it is also a house of closing things. Okay, so whenever a major transit happens into the 12th house, people close all the pending matters of their life. Okay, so that they can make some new beginning when Saturn is in the first house. Okay, so for Aquarius ascendant people, it is 12th house transit. They are going to close many things. Okay, they are going to close many things in many pending things in your life. Now, don't understand it is that they are like going to do all those things. I am just saying they are going to close things. So it can also be the case like let's say someone is a student and he is trying for some examination for a very long time. He may decide, okay, I had enough, I will maybe I'm not meant for this examination or this competition exam, and I should move on. Okay, so closing can also be like this, that you may like to move on from the things. So Saturn's transit into 12th house can make them close pending matters, plus it can make them inclined towards spirituality, foreign lands, and like means they will be putting more and more effort in understanding their spiritual self during this time. They should be. Okay. Finally, if someone is Pisces ascendant, then Saturn will be transiting their 11th house. Again, it is a difficult transit for wealth related matters. Okay, they should be very careful about their income gains. Then only they can hope for sailing through this transit. They would be like putting. If they are like a spendthrift or they are not taking care of their wealth related matters, then it can be a difficult time. Okay, so this is the main thing with them. Plus it can make them go for entrepreneurship, serving humanity. They can look for some, they should be looking for something by which they can connect with people and serve people and serve whole humanity, and through their own business. So this is the short version of whatever I have written in article of this Saturn in Capricorn transit. Like every other transit, it is going to bring some difficulties. Like every other transit of Saturn, it is going to bring some difficulties or challenges of Saturnian nature. We are supposed to be receptive towards those challenges. We are supposed to receive it, okay, rather than try to resist it. Again, the stress will come only when you resist. Otherwise, things can be manageable. Okay, let's see if there is some comment. Namaskar, sir. Hello, I have Saturn Capricorn in Natal. Yes, for you it is Saturn return time period. Okay, so it is like Saturn return can be the most challenging time period, because it is like having two Saturn in one sign. Okay, your birth chart Saturn is already there, and now a transiting Saturn is also transiting over your birth chart Saturn. So it is like dealing with double Saturn energy. It brings biggest of changes in life during Saturn return. But again, the key word is being receptive. If you are receptive towards the change and putting the best of effort, you can easily sail through this time. Nothing is easy, but you can sail through this time. My Saturn is in 4th Tula. Okay. And it will transit into my 7th house. If you can touch ascendant or Rashi aspect in this regard. As I said, 7th house transit is difficult for relationship purposes. In relationship matters, you may need to accommodate a lot to maintain things, to sustain your relationship. It can be a difficult transit otherwise in relationship matters. Also, 7th house is the house of business. So it will push you towards having your own business. If you are facing difficulties with your authority figures or bosses and all, again it is an indication that maybe your time of job setup is over and you should start planning for your own business. So Saturn transiting through 7th house is going to bring some difficulties in relationship matters or working under authority, or it will challenge you to do your own business. uh, again the problem will only come when you resist those changes. You try to escape from those challenges. But if you are ready to put your best effort over the longest period of time, then this transit can give you better result. Again, as I said in the beginning, Saturn in Tula or Saturn in any Rashi doesn't really matter. uh, Saturn will Saturn will do its job. Okay, it will create some problems. It can will create some challenges, and you are supposed to deal with those challenges. I am not good at Rashi aspect, and also I will not get into it. Uh, Saturn aspecting ascendant shows again shows major change in overall life. So many chaotic events. Yes, that's what others are saying. Yo, I am happy that people agree with me. Namaskar. Leo ascendant Saturn placed in the 12th house Cancer sign, currently under Saraswati. Since 2011, it is going to end on. Okay, how does Saturn in Capricorn transit in Capricorn manifest its result to this individual? As I said, that it is 6th house transit for you from ascendant. Be careful about your relationship matters. Don't get into conflict and litigation, otherwise it can be difficult transit. Plus your daily work environment can be stressful. It will make you to work hard. Okay, so this is the main thing. In diseases, illness, you should be careful against the diseases related bone, teeth and all. Chronic nature of diseases. If you get into some dispute, litigation or debts, it can turn up into a very long term issue. So that's why I am saying that try to avoid as much as possible. It can be difficult transit for relationship matters. Transit result analysis from ascendant and moon sign. Please throw some light based on your school of thoughts. I don't have any school of thoughts. So basically what I feel is that ascendant is what the events in life are always seen from the ascendant. Okay. Moon sign only shows how your mind is going to react to those events. Understand it like this. I give you an example. Suppose someone's fifth house is getting activated through fifth house from the ascendant is getting activated through dasha and transit. Okay, so this person had a childbirth because fifth house is the childbirth. Dasha was supportive of childbirth. Transits were supportive of childbirth. This person had a childbirth. Okay. But that this person's moon is in the 6th house. So from moon, the same 5th house is actually the 12th house. Okay. So now this person had the childbirth, but as the same 5th house is 12th from the moon, this person will not enjoy the childbirth. He will think about his expenses and losses. What all he had to incur in this childbirth. Okay, so ascendant shows the event and moon sign shows how your mind is going to react with that event. That is the only difference as I see. Transit analysis for it is done. Okay, for Capricorn ascendant, this period was during 1990-93. So can we expect same thing again? We can say so, but understand that dashas for individuals are changing. Okay, like in 1993, I was under Rahu Dasha. I just started my Rahu Dasha at that time. Now I am under Jupiter Dasha. It is completely different Dasha. So I cannot say that all the events will happen as is, okay, or majority of event will happen as is. But yeah, we can get some guidance during the if we remember the events which happened about 30 years back. we can get the guidance from those events. Like somewhere in 1992 I met with an accident. Okay, so I can get an guidance that okay, I'm about to enter into same transit now. I should be more careful while traveling and driving. Okay, so this is the thing. So if you remember those major events from last 30 years or so, then you can just get a guidance, a little bit of guidance of that. But again, the dasha of this time, the other transits of this time also impact. I am a Scorpio and Saturn comes to my third house after finishing my Sarasati. Can I make a hope on business in future? Yes, that's what I was saying, that Saturn is going to push Scorpio ascendant people towards their own business, because it is going 6th from the 10th house. It is conflict with authority figures. So a Scorpio ascendant person can have lots of conflicts with authority figures. Again, that those conflicts are an indication that person should become authority in himself. Okay, he should not work under others. Okay, if Saturn is Yoga Karaka, then transit is beneficial. Again, none of the Saturn transit is beneficial. None of the Saturn Dasha, Antardasha, Saturn and return, nothing is beneficial. Don't ever think that Saturn is going to give you anything. Okay, it is just to make you work hard. Okay, the only benefit with Saturn is that it makes us realize our true potential. Okay, so Saturn, even if Saturn is Yoga Karak, the basic nature of Saturn remains as is. That is inconvenience, that is challenges, that is changes. Just like I said in the beginning, that understand Saturn as the polar opposite of Venus. Venus represents conveniency in any house, any sign. Even if Venus is in Virgo debilitated, still it gives some wealth. Okay, still it provides some money and convenience factor. Likewise, Saturn represents your inconvenience. Now, no matter where it is placed, how it is placed, it is going to bring some inconvenience in your life. It will challenge you, and it will judge you on your efforts. Okay, if you face those challenges, or if you try to escape from those challenges. So even this concept of Yoga Karak and all, there is one Vargottama, all these things doesn't matter with Saturn. Saturn remains as is. Okay, it is going to put you under challenges, changes, and it will see how you are reacting to those things. Okay, for Virgo ascendant, how will it be? It will be a 5th house transit. As I said, there will be lots of challenges, changes in 5th house related matters like education, creativity, romance. They can get their authority from their education and creativity factor. Love, romance matters can be cold. It is better for them to maintain a long distance relationship. Not sure if this is enough transformation, but what does this mean for a Leo ascendant with Saturn in 5th house, Sagittarius, born in 1990? Okay, so Saturn, as I said, Saturn is transiting 6th house for Leo ascendant people. So 6th house, as it is the house of your daily work life, conflicts, litigation and all. This is going to be a transit where you may find stress in your daily work life, especially if you are in job setup, working with colleagues and competitors. So you can be under stress related with that, plus health issues related with bones, teeth, chronic nature of disease. In relationship matters, avoid conflicts and litigation as much as possible. Avoid taking any loan as much as possible, because it may turn out into a long-term loan because of Saturn's nature of long duration. So these are the main things. Again, going through that article will give you a better idea on what all you can expect during this transit. For relationship matter, it remains a difficult transit. Saturn in second house in Gemini ascendant. For you people, Saturn will be transiting 8th house. As I said, as 8th house transit for Gemini ascendant people can bring major changes in their life, overall life. Okay, so they should be receptive towards those changes. For Cancer ascendant, if Saturn is in the 7th house in Capricorn, what kind of problems can face a native in this transit? Again, the same thing, it is Saturn return. Majority of problems can be related with the relationship. Okay, it can be a troublesome time in relationship. You need to cooperate, accommodate with your spouse, partner a great deal. So that is the main theme. But at the same time, it can push you towards having your own business, and that will be like if you focus on your own business, if you put your best effort, then you can get authority through your own business. Again, it is a difficult transit for relationship. Sasha Yoga is formed in Capricorn. How does it impact? It doesn't impact anything. With Saturn, there is nothing but challenges, inconvenience, delay, hard work, and perseverance. Maybe any yoga. Saturn in Libra, even if Saturn is in Libra, try it out in your life. See the charts of your friends or family members who are Saturn in Libra. Try it out. Okay. Saturn represents challenges. Libra is sign of relationship. These people, where Saturn is exalted in Libra, these people have the biggest challenges in relationship. It is very difficult to maintain a balanced relationship for them. Okay, so even if it is exalted, forget about this yoga Vargottama or yoga Karak. Even if Saturn is exactly exalted at 20 degree of Libra, okay, even then it will bring some difficulties, because understand one thing, I cannot change my nature, whatever I am. Okay, Saturn itself is challenges. So wherever it is going, it is bringing that challenge. That's why I am saying understand Saturn as polar opposite of Venus. Wherever Venus goes, it brings conveniences. Wherever Saturn goes, it brings inconveniences. Simple. Okay, we never ask why Venus is bringing wealth in every house. Okay, we never ask why Venus is bringing a relationship in every house, but we ask about Saturn why it is bringing misery. Okay, so it is our problem that we don't want misery, but it is not Saturn's problem. Saturn will give what he has. Okay, so Saturn basic nature, Saturn is made out of misery. That's why I brought the mythological story of Saturn. Saturn is made out of misery. Now you can give to someone what you have, right? I can give astrological consultation only when I know anything about astrology. Otherwise, I cannot. Okay. So likewise, Saturn will bring you misery, because Saturn itself has led a miserable life. That's it. Okay. So I think we are done. Can you please share your experiences of Sade Sati? I don't have any experience as such. I'm for Leo ascendant and Scorpio moon. But again, Sade Sati is like, I have done a video on Sade Sati. So if anyone is going through Sade Sati time period, again that video will be more helpful rather than giving a very brief information here. But just to conclude that first phase of Sade Sati is always the most troublesome. That's where always the most important, I would say. Troublesome is the second phase, but the most important is the first phase, where we start getting the indications of what is wrong in our life. Okay. and Saturn is expecting us to make a move, make a proactive effort to resolve those things. Okay, now if we are not dealing with those things, we are trying to neglect it, we are trying to procrastinate it, then the second phase becomes very difficult, where those problems are right on your face, then you cannot neglect it. So the first phase is the most important. If you are a proactive person, if you are a proactive person, just take the indications of Saturn when it is transiting 12th from your moon, okay, the first phase of Sadesati, and start working on those things. Then you can manage the other two phases very easily. Third, sixth, 11th house brings something new or someone new is great input. Thank you so much, sir. You're welcome. Take care. So I think we are done. So if anyone has any further question, please feel free to comment. I will be more than happy to reply. I will also post something more there is a story how to deal with Saturn or any planetary transit. I will post it either in evening or tomorrow. Okay, and that should help you. Okay, take care. Bye. Enjoy your Sunday. I have given you even enough stress.